Lenny really looking forward to it. We've got Johnny Smith in there against your buddy Bozo McCullough, that now wants to be called Equalizer.
Well, he's an equalizer, all right. In his own mind, he's an equalizer. It's too bad he's from Billings, Montana, not Bozeman, Montana. Well, Johnny Smith, of course, just back after an injury. He had a shoulder injury against Jerry Morrow 2 or 3 weeks ago. And we all remember what happened in that one. The team broke up. The Weasel, Jerry Morrow, and Johnny Smith went their separate ways. Johnny Smith now one of the so-called good guys in the world of CNWA wrestling, and certainly that's to the fans' liking. The British Bruiser is certainly a fan favorite.
Well, he has turned coat because he was one of the worst wrestlers as far as attitude went. He was always a great wrestler, and now Johnny is in there, and he's become Mr. Clean, broke up with the Weasel. Boy, what a parting of the ways that was. And the audience have turned to him and really have accepted him. And listen to that crowd. This will really get your buddy Bozo up there all excited. How come you upset him so much?
I don't know what it is, but when I look at Bozo McCullough, I see two noses out of face there, and I just wonder where the other one is, and I don't think he likes that too much.
Are you saying he's two-faced on the camera, Mike?
I'm saying he's two-faced because I don't know why he wants to continually pick on me, but then sometimes I understand. When Ed's here and then when you're here, somehow you get him turned on.
Well, now Johnny Smith, look at that McCullough with that. He's pointing to his brains. That's a short trip.
Very short trip. The elevator doesn't go to the top floor.
Nice
should mention, sorry Frank, should mention that Johnny Smith is 235 pounds from Manchester, England, and McCullough weighs in at 265 pounds.
Over 500 pounds of talent in that ring, and you've got to give both men their dues, despite the fact that McCullough's now, listen to this, going outside and lipping off the fans there, and boy, they love to get into it, don't they?
They sure do. Last week, you know, Frank, I sort of had to bite my tongue. I was feeling sorry for McCullough when he was in against DeSalvo. Strangler Steve DeSalvo literally destroyed Bozo McCullough last week, and I mean, I felt bad for him.
Well, I'm sure that he'll expect a sympathy card from you very shortly.
It's in the mail.
A lot of talent there. The man deserves all of it. He's worked hard at it. Good shape. Johnny Smith. Boy, that elbow goes and shoulder block goes right into it. His shoulder can't be too sore now, Mike, because he put it into McCullough and knocked him flying like a 10-pin would.
That is a good sign because it was that left shoulder that was hurt, and he put a solid left shoulder into McCullough, and as McCullough will do, he gets out of the ring to try and get a breath.
Well, he's got one favorite fan over there he wants to go talking to.
Well, I think that fan's got a picture of the British Bruiser, and every time McCullough gets in the neighborhood, he flashes that picture, and it really gets on McCullough's nerve.
Maybe you could get Johnny Smith to autograph one, and then just stand there, Mike, and hold it up in front of McCullough. See if he'd come after you. Well, he's using the full advantage of Johnny's hair, and McCullough hammers it to him. There's a knee right and a leg right into the midsection. And boy, they got a pretty good target with McCullough. Oh, how low the corner post.
Well, McCullough led with his nose in that one, and he paid the price. Big body slam by the British Bruiser. A 2 count.
You know what I like to see about that, Mike? That Johnny just picked him up. 265 pounds, carried him 5 steps, and then threw him.
He's a strong young man. There's no question about that.
Good to see the talent like we've got in here. And, of course, there's the... Look at that. He grabs the hair, and he's not paying any attention. Johnny managed to hold on to it. Turning him over.
Speaking about seeing good talent here at the Silver Dollar, it's also a good crowd again tonight. And fans, if you're in the Calgary area, we invite you to come out to the Silver Dollar Action Center. That's 42nd Avenue and Blackfoot Trail here in Calgary. If you're familiar with the area, 7:30 every Friday night. Tickets available at the door, and your host, of course, is the very genial Frank Sisson. And I know Frank and Lorraine welcome everybody up here.
5 minutes gone. 5 minutes.
Well, McCullough's got the audience worked up tonight because what he's doing is looking like he's picking up something out of his trunks, and he's making some threatening gestures. But Johnny Smith is not the fellow that you want to play around with.
It's become a favorite tactic of McCullough, going to the tights for a gimmick or an object of some sort and then putting it back, and it just gets the crowd incensed.
Johnny Smith from Manchester. Actually, one of the best matches I saw was the one when he was up there with Ron Ritchie. They got into a boxing match. A lot of boxing going on these days, and that was one of the better ones. Those fellas just hammered it out. Oh, now I think McCullough's playing with fire when he puts his hand on the referee.
No question. We all remember that one. The referee at the time was the number 3 ranked heavyweight in Canada, Conroy Nelson. And Conroy, quite an experience for him when he was here that night.
Again, McCullough showing his strength now with the fact that he just picked up Mr. Smith, threw him onto the mat.